Yo, what's up YouTube? So, I've not really posted another mini rant for a few days, maybe even a week. I forget exactly how long it's been. I've been getting over my sickness and trying to feel better. So that's been a huge part of it. And my light is pretty shit right now. But, yeah, I hope you like half my face. But I've been trying to get over the sickness and regain my voice and my structure behind my pronunciation of things, because I know that I was really nasally and just really bad under the weather, and that's not, my voice is already pretty crappy to listen to as it is, but I figured, I would spare your ears from a sickened version of that voice, an even shittier version. But I'm back. I've been working a lot. I'm actually still in my Taco Bell uniform right now. I got off of work at 1 a.m. I'm currently making this video at 3 a.m. Still coughing a little bit. But now that y'all know why I've been gone for so long, time to get on to the next mini rant. And I wanted to talk about feminism. Feminism and Hillary Clinton supporters and how they go together. Okay, so I want to preface this by saying I believe everyone should be treated equally. No matter your race, your creed, your religion. If you want to separate creed and religion, that's fine. That's why I mentioned both. But no matter what you believe, no matter the color of your skin, no matter your nationality, you should be treated equally in the United States of America. Because that's our constitutional rules. That's what we set up our country on, is to treat everyone equally, right? I believe that. I wanted to preface this by saying that I do, in fact, believe that everyone should be treated equally. I have friends of every ethnicity. I have friends of every religious belief. I have atheist friends. I have Wiccan friends. I have Christian friends. I have black friends. I have Latino friends. I have Honduran friends. I have Guatemalan and Puerto Rican friends. I have a lot of different friends. I've got Canadian friends, Russian friends. Actually, not Russia, I take that back. I do have Russian friends, but the guy I was thinking of is actually Ukrainian. I have so many different ethnicities and religious beliefs and cultures that surround me. I have a lot of those, and I love all of my friends. I really do. Now let's move on to the part where I'm going to be a dick about some things. First of all, feminism is stupid. It's fucking ridiculous. Let me just start by saying that. Check your feminism shit at the door with me. Because you're a female. I'm a male. Females always want to say that the males are treated better and that we get paid more. I've worked at a lot of fast food restaurants. I've worked at a local amusement park. I've worked at Amazon.com. I've worked at multitudes of restaurants, and everywhere that I've worked, over 6 different businesses all pay their employees equally, no matter male or woman. Male, female, you get paid the exact same amount. So my personal experience in the workforce says that what you're saying about women getting paid less is wrong. You're looking at statistics, and statistics vary. Statistics on people who get the flu during flu season vary every year. Sometimes it's more males, sometimes it's more females, sometimes children, sometimes elderly. The fact of the matter is, females shouldn't be upset that more females got the flu over the winter of 2014, and I'm just making that up off the top of my head before somebody says, actually, no, that's just an example. That's hypothetical. Females shouldn't be mad because more females got the flu during that year. Likewise, statistics change. They vary almost every year. And especially when you break the statistics down to the point where they're pinpoint precise, that leaves a lot of margin for interpretation. And if you interpret something very crudely, it can be misconstrued as a disadvantage. Personally, from my experience in a lesser job force, I've seen that males and females, at least in my state, in Tennessee, are paid equally for the same job. Period. End of discussion. No one can convince me. You could yell until you're blue in the face at me. You cannot convince me that females make less money. And I've seen it firsthand. So because I've seen it with my own eyes, your argument is invalid. It's null. So I don't tolerate that in a feminist argument. Another thing that I'm seeing going around is white male. There are white males standing beside angry black people and angry gay people, angry feminists. It's all one big clique at this point. And there's white males standing beside these people, yelling at other white males, pretty much racially profiling them as white males. So I know that sounds stupid because it fucking is. Let me explain this. A white male who is fighting for blacks and Hispanics and gay and lesbian and feminist people is yelling at other white males because they're white males. I don't understand it either. That's fucking stupid. I will fight for any race if they're being racially profiled. Period. If you're Honduran and somebody doesn't hire you because you're Honduran, I will stand beside you and I will fight for you. If you're black and you were fired from a job because a white person at that job did not like you, I will fight for you. I will stand beside you and I will fight for you. I do not tolerate racism. But when I say that I do not tolerate racism, I do not tolerate white people who are pissed off at other white people either. That's still fucking racism. And you're mad at white males because we had our lives handed to us, and because, like, we're white and we've never experienced racial diversity, or adversity, I'm sorry, not diversity, but adversity. Literally, if you're mad at someone because they're white, that is racism. No matter your skin color, even if you are white, if you're mad at white people, that is racism. Second off, saying white male makes you sexist. So you're calling this white male out on being sexist or misogynist, and yet you're using sexist logic to form your opinion on him and profiling him. It's hypocrisy. That's my number one pet peeve in life. Hypocrisy is bullshit. Check hypocrisy at the door with me. Let's move on to point number 3. Hillary Clinton. Look, I know this year's election, in my opinion, and I know a lot of other people feel the same way. I've seen the tweets, I've seen the posts, I've seen the snaps, tags on Instagram, all that. I've seen it, okay? I've seen it with my own eyes. I've watched the debates. I've watched the national conventions. Here's the thing. Both our candidates are crap. Both our candidates are crap. And I know that I'm Southern, and I know that I'm a white male, but I heard it said very well on a news broadcast. Someone said, at this point, you really don't like either candidate, but what it boils down to is, do I vote to elect somebody, I should say, that I agree with nothing on, or do I vote to elect somebody who I can't agree with everything on? That's your only two options. Either you can't agree with anything, or you can't agree with everything. People are going to vote for the I can't agree with everything. And in my opinion, the person who I can't agree with everything on is Donald Trump. I can't agree with Hillary Clinton at all. Period. I literally hate her. She obviously has emails. And I know that both of them are shitty people, okay? I'm not saying that Trump is right when he makes sexist comments. That burns my biscuits, trust me. I do not like that. I do not like the fact that the guy who I want to vote for is making misogynistic and sexist comments. That is not what I am encouraging or condoning. I do not condone that. I do not tolerate it. But I like hypocrisy less. I like hypocrisy much less. I don't agree with what Donald Trump is doing, but at least he understands what he's doing. He understands where he's gone wrong. He understands he will address it. Hillary Clinton, the emails, they're there, period. She fucked up. They asked her if she erased all the emails. She said no. She even went out of her way to be comical about it and laugh at people and say, no, I didn't do that. But she did. I mean, everyone overlooks that, but period, she did. Second off, the people who were connected to that investigation, 5 of them ended up diplomatic immunity. The FBI can't even touch them. Wonder how that happened. That has to be done through the Department of Justice. Like, only Hillary Clinton would have that power, the pull to do that. She granted 5 people diplomatic immunity from the FBI. Why, if they're not guilty? That means the FBI could not search laptops or any of the property of those 5 people. They could not search the homes or anything. Why, if she is not guilty? People who were connected to the investigation before it was canceled and called off started turning up dead. We'll call that, hypothetically, we'll call that unconfirmed. That was a tabloid story, but the tabloids covered it like 17 different times on 17 different people. They brought up people from the past and everything. They turned up dead. Mysteriously dead. Clinton has accused Donald Trump of using bad language, and she said that she was afraid that he was going to offend country leaders and higher powers. Yet when he tried to ally with Vladimir Putin and made a fun, light-hearted gesture about, hey, if you want to help us find these emails, you're welcome to. Guess who actually did find some of the emails that are coming out on WikiLeaks right now? Russia. Clinton, at the last debate, attacked Donald Trump for this, saying that he was allying with Russia. She also went earlier on and said that she called Vladimir Putin a menace to society, which I think is very rude. And she also called him a thug. And I also think that that's rude. After sitting there saying that she was afraid Donald Trump was going to offend country leaders, she uses language like menace to society and thug to describe somebody who is going to dig up dirt on her. That is hypocrisy 101. You can't do that. I think she had a great argument until she fucked up into the exact same thing herself. She's saying that she's going to fight for women. All the feminists are eating it up. They're looking at how Clinton is saying that Donald Trump is a misogynist pig and all this, and they're eating it up. What Clinton has for her supporters, her fan base, are people who are pseudo-intellectuals, okay? I had Clinton supporters come at me the other day saying that I was a, quote, white male, so I only cared about myself, and that I could never understand their troubles, and I was stupid for being a Trump supporter. And I got to thinking about it right then and there and was like, so you're voting for Clinton because she does not stand for racism or intolerance towards a certain people. You're not voting for Donald Trump because you call him racist and sexist, but you just racially profiled me and sexually, gender specifically, profiled me as a white male. You're employing the exact same logic that you claim to be fighting against. That's what Clinton supporters are. They're pseudo-intellectual millennials who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And Clinton wants those people because it's blind votes for her. So those are the facts. I say facts, but those are the facts as I say them. Take everything that I say, please, as opinion. It is my opinion and my opinion only. I stated that I would be voting for Donald Trump, but the fact of the matter is I'm probably not going to vote at all because I really don't like either candidate. I would rather sit back and let it play out. I know that's the worst type of person. I hate myself for it. I really do. But honestly, I can't decide. I can't walk into a voting booth and think, I want one or the other to be president because I don't want either of them to be president. If I had to choose, it'd be Donald Trump, though. Honestly, if I had to choose, if somebody physically put a gun to my head and said, you got to mark one or the other end if you're wanting to live, I'd vote Trump. I hate to say it. At least he says, I had some run-ins with women in the past. I said some very hurtful things, and I was hoping we could move forward from that. At least when someone says, you don't like Mexicans, he says, no, I don't like the illegal immigrants who are in the country, and I do not like the illegal immigrants that are here harming our economy and hurting our youth by distributing drugs. That's a very, very keen topic. That is, in fact, happening. And if we were to put not necessarily a wall, I don't like that word, I don't like the word wall, but if we were to tighten border control, catch more of the drug lords that are trying to smuggle drugs, it would help our youth. It would help our youth. just putting tighter border security up would both eliminate illegal immigrants being here, which honestly, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I want to say it's a bad problem or not, but I don't really know how I feel about it, so I'm not going to comment on that. But if you were in fact trying to stop illegal immigrants, period, by doing so you would also weed out the drug cartels and the drug smuggling, which would directly impact our youth in America in a positive way. So, at least he has things to back up what he says, whereas Clinton gets approached with a very negative light topic, and they'll say, did you wipe your servers clean in the email? She laughs and says, what do you mean with a cloth? I don't know what you mean. She plays stupid. Like, we're dumb. Another thing, she had people in her convention stand up and call themselves queer and call themselves all these words that would be considered politically incorrect. I don't understand why. You're saying that you're fighting against being called that, and then you put people up there to speak on your behalf, and then they call themselves that. Do you not realize that that's going to hurt your overall message to America? People will realize that you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Those are just some of the things that I see, and that's part of the mindset that I'm under that influences me and my beliefs. Honestly, I'm hoping to see Donald Trump win. Period. I doubt I'll vote, but I want to see Donald Trump win. Because I don't trust Donald Trump. I don't trust him all the way. But I'd rather see change right now. A change from Obama and Clinton. And I don't trust Clinton at all. Period. Honestly, if I were Hillary Clinton, I wouldn't even trust myself. She can't understand what she's saying. She uses false logic, inductive reasoning, and it's just not a good mindset for her to have as a president of our country. So, yeah. And when I say she uses inductive reasoning, what I mean is she says, men who call women this name are sexist, and she's lumping Donald Trump in with people who are like that. And I think we've all said things that we regret. I know that I've said a lot of things that I regret. My mother and my family, like, that hurts real bad when it's that close to home, when your own mother says something to you and you're like, ooh, it cut deep. But it happens. We've all been there. We've all experienced it. People say things they regret. So I don't think it's very fair at all to look 5 years in the past or 8 years in the past and bring up things and still judge somebody on that. Again, you're fighting against racism. But it wouldn't be fair to look at me and say that I'm racist because my ancestors, 200 or 300 years ago were racist. That's not fair. And if you believe that, like any sane person would, then it's the same logic behind we shouldn't judge Donald Trump for what he said 6 years ago. It's, again, not fair. And I also think it's not fair to judge him on his character now as opposed to how he would be in the White House, because we don't know. Again, that's using inductive reasoning without actually having a specific way of knowing. We can't know for certain that he's going to be a certain way before he gets in there. We can, in fact, know for certain how Hillary Clinton is going to be, at least around the political scene, because she's been in it for 30 years and left a swath of destruction behind her. We can look at her record. I don't know. I advise anyone to go back and actually look at the conventions, watch all of Clinton's conventions, all of Trump's conventions, and all the presidential debates, all in one big marathon. And by the end of it, please, if you have to sit and take like notes, look at pros and cons. Look at pros and cons. And actually do research on the list you write out. Like, actually research whether or not their policies have worked in the past. And, that's all I got to say. That's really all I got to say. But that's my little mini rant. There's too many young girls, and it's mainly young girls, and I hate to say that. I'm not trying to offend anyone or be gender specific, there are some guys, like I mentioned earlier in the video, there are in fact some white guys who are fighting other white guys because they're white guys. It makes my fucking brain hurt, okay? But the majority, and this is coming from a statistical standpoint, no bias in this whatsoever, like literally, there are females, feminists, who are so caught up in this indoctrination process of being a feminist and getting more of the pie that they are just charging in foolhardy and not really understanding what they're actually saying. There's tons of videos on YouTube. That's not a good place to derive information because you can't judge a group of people off of one person. But I've not judged it off of one person. I've seen these people standing with signs at rallies for feminists, and I'm judging it off of a multitude, a collaboration of all these things. It's a cumulative effect that I'm judging this on. I've seen at least like 13 people who were sitting there trying to like yell at somebody, and either A, they were told to leave and did not, or B, they have absolutely no idea what the hell they're talking about and they just get put in their place, but they still believe, they're so wrapped up in it that they still believe they're doing right and that they cannot possibly be wrong. It's bad logic. The whole thing is bad logic. You cannot possibly be a feminist, racially and gender specifically profile people, and then claim that you're fighting for people who are being racially and gender specifically profiled. It doesn't work. That's hypocrisy. But they don't understand, and in their mind they use circular logic to just keep coming back and saying that they're right. They'll cuss and fight and yell, and it's honestly violent, and I don't condone violence at all either. I'm not a very violent person. I study martial arts, and I'm still not a violent person. I've never really been in a fight in my out of high school life, and I would hope I'm never in one, because I don't know who's going to win that fight, but I don't want to see myself or the other person hurt, period, and there's a risk of that if a fight breaks out, so I would much rather walk away. But my point is, these people are sometimes violent, and it's all part of an indoctrination. And the last thing I want to say in this video is that all these feminists are inspiring young girls. For some reason, females, you never see this in males, but females are they are very gullible creatures. And I hate to say that, but again, from a statistic standpoint, males look up to other males, but you don't see the same level of it as you do in females. Females look up to other females as if they were idols, gods, deities. How many females looked up to Paris Hilton? How many females look up to pop stars? How many females look up to YouTube personalities and try and be just like them? And honestly, that's what Hillary Clinton is doing. She's indoctrinating the youth to think that they deserve more, when in all actuality and reality, they're probably getting equal shares of everything, which is what needed to happen. Women used to not have rights, and that was very wrong. Now they do, and they're equal to male rights, which is correct. We're right there. We're done. That's it. Just like, there was slavery. We corrected that, and now there's not. And black people have every right to everything that white people or Hispanic people or anyone do. It's all equal. It's perfect the way it is. I understand that there are some accidents that involve, a correlation between race and incident. That still needs to be corrected, but going about it in a way that gives you more than what you're deserving isn't the way to go about it. Feminists are going about it in a way where they just want to take all, period. And again, take it as my opinion, but this is what I've personally seen. And if you look up YouTube videos and you listen to some of the things these pseudo-intellectuals say, it's very obvious that they think they have a right to more than males do. That's it's the way it's working. Instead of fighting for equal rights, we have equal rights, and they're fighting for equal rights, but what they really want is to be worshipped above men. They want to have more than what men do. They want to ask for an inch, but then take a mile. I don't think it's right. And that's mainly almost 2/3 of Clinton supporters are the indoctrinated youth who are following this trend. And it's sickening. But anyway, that's my mini rant on feminism and Clinton and how they fit together. If you liked what I had to say, tell me about it in the comments. If you didn't like what I had to say, I'd love to have a discussion with you in the comments. I will not be rude or try and make personal attacks. I'm very against ad hominem. Now, if I call somebody an idiot, it's more than likely because you're a fucking idiot. Like, I'm sorry, I am honest. I don't want to attack you personally and then call your argument wrong because you're an idiot. But if your argument is wrong and you keep telling me that it's right, when I'm giving you supporting evidence to say that it's wrong, then you're an idiot. But no, I'd love to have a conversation, peaceful, happy, intelligent conversation down in the comments below. And I know what's going to happen. Someone's going to jump in and be like, "You're a faggot." Okay, well, I mean, that's your terminology. You can use that. I know that's an internet trendy thing. But, yeah, that's probably going to happen, and that's cool. I can ignore those comments. But I'd love to have some intelligent conversation down in the comments. So please let me know what you think about what I said. Every topic is, open for discussion. If you like this video and want to see more from me, go ahead and click that like button. It would help me out a lot. Subscribe to see all the other mini rants that I will post. And as always, guys, I hope you all dream in neon. Sorry for the long video. I wanted to make this one sort of longer to make up for the amount of time that I was gone. And I hope that I didn't become redundant in this video. I wanted to create a fresh view on the same topic over and over so that people would have it more swirling around. It was like the same topic but a little bit different way of looking at it so that all of the pictures would come together into one. And that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to paint a bigger picture. But I realize a lot of people probably aren't even watching this video right now. They're like, this dude's boring. But anyway, I think I'm going to end this video here, guys. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out, guys. Stay true to yourself. Always be yourself. Try not to have idols or false hope. And remember to smile and be kind to others, honestly. And if you're not kind, just realize that you don't know who that person is. You don't know what they're capable of. And you probably shouldn't.